Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the SUP Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Luke Trevisi. Luke Trevisi in the building, currently top knotless. I lost my top knot in a battle in Ghost of Tsushima. Don't worry about that. We got to my right, I've got Lawrence Deloach. How's it going, buddy?
Chilling, bro.
And to my left, I got Chris Chaney.
What up? What up? What up?
Everybody, gang's all here. Gang's all
Yeah.
here. We're all, doing things.
That's right.
We just got on, and Supreme has like a lot of shit that they've been talking about, and what we'd like to discuss.
I know. And even like right before I get literally I'm sending you guys the Zoom invite and I get a DM from one of our listeners going like, all right, now you're going to talk about Mortal Kombat too. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I can't even formulate any thoughts about this
When
shit.
does it stop? All right. What do we think, guys? Where do you want to start?
I mean, I don't know. It's too. All right. First off, I hate the Chucky thing. Can I just say that first? I think the Chucky thing is a waste of a license play.
Why?
I don't get that one.
Why?
The Venn diagram. I look at all collabs as a Venn diagram, right? And
Okay.
like the overlap, either like the smaller or bigger the overlap is between those two, kind of to me caters to how good the collab is actually going to be. And this is so small. The people that like Supreme and that also are huge Chucky fans, come on.
Oh, no. You're thinking too small. You're thinking Chucky. You got to think like people love 80s like early 90s, like all that like kitschy horror shit.
I don't.
You don't walk around Soho and you see like mad Asian kids wearing like fucking Halloween and fucking Friday the 13th shit.
To me, Chucky is just like a third tier horror license.
Character.
Yeah. Like,
But what if we got the overalls that say Supreme on them,
no.
like a bloodstained overall.
I'm cool. I'm cool for sure.
Lawrence?
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, what I've seen so far of like the previews that are coming out, like the Swarovski. Why the fuck did I even say it if I can't pronounce it?
Why even bring it up?
The fucking crystal Zippo. There's supposed to be a crystal Swarovski crystal Zippo, whatever, coming out. There's supposed to be a Chia Pet dropping. Then obviously we have the Chucky stuff. I'm Mortal Kombat, obviously.
Yeah.
I feel like Supreme is definitely just, they're just, at this point, they don't give a fuck. They're just kind of putting things out. And I think, obviously, and I hate to say it, we're definitely, to me, we've been on the decline of Supreme for the last couple of years in terms of, what they're dropping and they're not giving a fuck about what they throw at us. And I think this is definitely an indicator of their mood.
Well, it's hard to. I agree with you for the most part, but then you see like they're doing something with Futura, and you're like, oh, okay, now I'm paying attention because that's something that interests me, right? That's a legacy play that makes all the sense in the world, especially because like they've had a previous relationship. Like it's just in 2020, after like the amount of time that they've had to touch Chucky, to now go, yeah, okay. But even
that's what I'm saying. It's almost like now it's just like we don't give a fuck. We are going to put out what we want, and you're still going to buy it. This is what I said every year. It just seems like Supreme is like, let's see what we can do and how far we can go, and people will still just sell the shit out in a second.
But the Mortal Kombat one actually makes sense to me, even though they haven't done anything previous. Because, like, first off, I feel like MK has been not a constant fashion reference, but I feel like a lot of people have looked at MK like Scorpion, Sub-Zero for those guys. Like, people have taken cues from them. And mask, like, couture is a thing, so you have, like, they wear masks. I feel like there's a play there, which makes sense. It's just, Chucky doesn't make any sense at all. And neither did the Smurfs, I guess, which is why we were laughing so much last week.
Well, I think what Supreme should have given us was a Street Fighter Supreme collab, in terms of instead of Mortal Kombat. But I mean, once again, Mortal Kombat was, it was still it was one of the greatest game franchises in the history of franchises. So, I understand that. But I mean, like I said, the Chucky, the Smurfs, and then I feel like, they're going to give us box logos, as per usual, we get a box logo. I wonder how that's going to be. I don't know.
I would love to see a photo tee of the Cat Williams shit.
Well, let's talk about
Yeah,
that.
about
So Supreme dropped there was a video of Cat Williams doing stand up in an empty crowd, and looking at it as three stand up comedians in New York, I thought it was Cat Williams is just, to me, he's so underrated in terms of when he has
Yes.
his ducks in a row. Like, he is just so cerebral with shit.
Yeah.
And just, he's one of the greatest, and I feel like a lot of times he kind of gets overlooked because of the antics.
You should have you guys watched Alligator Man from the first episode of Atlanta season 2?
No.
He is the guest star in that episode. He wins an Emmy for that shit. It is amazing. Like, he is a great actor too.
Wait, Donald Glover,
No,
Atlanta?
yeah.
Yeah,
Donald
Don
Glover,
Glover.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
I watched that show. I don't remember this. I'll have to go back and watch that. But damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, when they make the Florida Man joke.
Oh, I don't remember, but I did watch that for sure. I'll have to go back. But I mean, like, I can't tell if he's the best dressed comedian or the worst dressed.
Well, I mean, it's funny. He had the rainbow hair, a la Tekashi 6ix9ine,
Yeah.
in the Supreme video. It was, like I said, I think his message. I think, honestly, and I'm gonna say this: if Dave Chappelle didn't drop that 846, I think this would be talked about a lot more. In terms of, because it's really good. I mean, I watched all 6 minutes or whatever of the video, and I thought like I said, I think Cat is one of the best. He just, a lot of times the antics that went along with Cat Williams turn people off to him, but he's fucking amazing, and I loved it. And I do hope that we do get some type of Supreme photo tee with Cat Williams on it or something.
I do really hope we get a photo tee, just because, like, it encompasses a lot of, like, the fuckery that's going on right now. Not to directly point at 6ix9ine, but like 6ix9ine plus his content that he spoke about, it's like all fuck shit, and it's sort of like a nice little cap on the year. I know we're still in August, so that we have plenty of time before the year is over.
We all know that the official cap on the year is Uncle Murder's wrap up. All right, so that's some honest to God shit. Like, we wait for Uncle Murder to drop his song, reviewing the year. So, like, this isn't a cap. All right,
that's funny. That's funny. This is just such a moment in a screenshot. Like, I got it up on my other screen right here, and I just love he looks so insane with the rainbow hair.
Yeah. Look, like I said, it was very it was well done, and like I said, Cat Williams is one of the most eloquent speakers, and he's the way he presents things. It was done well. I think, like I said, deserves more recognition, but I feel like, once again, because Dave Chappelle was able to get that first out, I think that's why we don't, it's not talked about a little bit more. But well done. We get the preview or lookbook tomorrow, I believe, if I'm correct, or
Tuesday or some shit. It's like definitely this week.
Oh, we get we get the lookbook, the preview supposed to be tomorrow.
Okay.
And then the week 1 in store is supposed to actually be this Thursday, if I'm correct, the 20th. So I don't know, if that's true, if that's going to officially happen, but online is supposed to happen the following week, the 24th and 27th. So we shall see what happens. So I'm excited for if the preview comes out tomorrow. I'm really excited. Tomorrow's also another big day because it begins day 1 of the NBA playoffs in the bubble in Florida.
Yeah.
We had a play-in game on Saturday between the Trailblazers and the Memphis Grizzlies. It was very exciting, very good. It was very intense. And so far the NBA bubble's been a fucking success.
Yep. It took a while to adjust, but I am enjoying it.
I'm going to start paying attention now. Before the games were like too sporadic for me. I felt like it was just like not watching basketball at noon on a Sunday felt weird. I forget what game that was, but I watched it I was like, I don't like this. I woke up like 2 hours ago. This is weird.
It's weird having like cereal and watching basketball live.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So now I'm going to start paying attention though, especially because it's the playoffs. So And it's also weird to think about how I'm gonna like pay attention to what PJ Tucker's wearing during this. I don't like this at all.
Lawrence, who do you got? Blazers, Lakers. Who you got?
I mean, Damian Lillard,
Damian
scoring.
Lillard's hot right now. Melo is fucking playing pretty well. I don't know, bro.
I mean, like I said, Dame dropping 50 a game. Melo's looking like he's, 31 all over again.
Yeah.
You got Nurkic, you got CJ McCollum. Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. No way.
Lakers in 5.
Yeah,
No. I honestly, I don't think it's going to be Lakers in 5, but I think it'll be a 6-game series. I think Portland is solid. Damian Lillard is solid. But I think the Lakers are just they're a better team. And when we see LeBron, he plays in playoff mode, and Anthony Davis, and I think the Lakers are going to be solid.
Yo, shout out to Adidas though for supporting their player. 61 points. They make all his shoes $61.
Yeah, dude, I copped a pair just because I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's interesting to see that, like, with Adidas marketing, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that, I mean, Damian Lillard is a great player. I think Adidas basketball sneakers are not, and I couldn't imagine, Kobe, rest in peace, dropping 81 and Nike saying, hey, all the Kobe's are $81. Like, that wouldn't happen because people buy Nikes to play ball.
Buy Nikes.
And Adidas, shout out to, I had an experience real quick with the pair of LeBron 16s. I forgot, every time I play ball on LeBrons, I end up twisting my ankle somehow, some way, and I twisted my ankle yesterday playing in LeBron 16. So I gotta be cognizant of not buying LeBrons to play ball in anymore. But yeah, I'm a
Wouldn't
big.
that happen in Adidas sneakers?
Yeah, I would have tore my ACL
like D Rose,
like D Rose and Iman Shumpert and all these guys back in 2012 and 13.
I mean, speaking of D Rose though, are you gonna break your ankle in those fucking air filter 4s? I don't even know what the fuck the name of those things are. Those things look insane. I mean,
they look so comfy, dude.
They do look comfortable. I mean, we touched on them last week for just a second, but like they broke right before we started potting, and then like after we had that video of the chick who's like, I bet gonna be like a fucking costume come Halloween now if we can go outside. But like those shits are wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I'm into them. Hold on.
Yeah, you're into twist your ankle on those, buddy.
Yeah, totally. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
What are you pulling them up?
Yeah, I was trying to pull them up.
Wait, hold on, I gotta make it so
crazy.
Yeah, there you go.
They look like these look like another pair of like just nice house shoes.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if house shoes is the right.
Sneakers, bro.
Bro, Kanye got this chick out in Wyoming, like twirling in air filter shoes.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, I don't see those being Derrick Rose's sneakers. Whatever Derrick Rose plays in, or whatever, I want him to be secure and not hurt himself, and I just want him to have a great career for the rest of his career.
I mean, that's a very Kanye way to solve D Rose's problem. He's like, what if, I understand your ankles are terrible, so what if there was pillows around them? Like if you had down feathers on your feet, you wouldn't get hurt because they're soft.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, imagine if we made a back scratcher, but also your shoe that, yes, is a pillow. What if we did that? Dude, I feel like with the foam runners, these ones, I don't know what Kanye's doing exactly with all this weird shit, but I mean, like, It's getting talked about in like a positive way. Like he is sort of breaking some boundaries as far as what a shoe is. Also, he's like really looking outside the box on this shit.
Those are probably mostly algae too, which I'm kind of for. He's trying to make
the sustainable shit.
Those sustainable sneakers. Let me enjoy my cake and still have a planet to live on too.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not. I don't. Obviously, I don't think those are going to be Derrick Rose sneakers. I mean, Kanye is. They've had issues with him getting his sneakers on the NBA court.
But he was training in D Rose was training in bariums, so we might see him pull out a pair of Quantums.
I hope so, man. I hope I hope so, man. D Rose is he's not in the bubble in the NBA bubble. His team, the Detroit Pistons, didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
And there's a few teams who players who that did not make the playoffs, but their players are making headlines. My guy Steph Curry,
Holy crap.
chef. He's there was a leaked image of the Curry eights that is supposed to be he has a Curry's individual brand is supposed to be releasing the shoe, the Curry eights. Um, they look like honestly, they look like something like Adidas Prime Knit.
Yeah, they look like Allbirds. They
Like
don't
look like
look.
Ultra Boost. They look like a pair of Ultra Boosts, like high Ultra Boosts.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't look like anything too crazy. They don't look like they hold much support. But then again, I haven't worn them, and I mean, based on what I'm looking at, these guys in the photo wearing them, I mean, they look sort of secure. But I don't know. These look like just like regular shits. Like this,
I mean,
yeah, like you said, like Allbirds, like Adidas. Like these ain't crazy.
it looks like there's some sort of a protection on the Achilles tendon on the back there. I think
Yeah.
for when he's jumping for his form.
I think
Yeah,
well,
man.
I think guards need lighter shoes anyway. So I'm not mad at, but like I feel like they just give me trainer running sneaker vibes, not basketball vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the weird thing to me about this is that, like, I don't think that Curry is looked at for his like fashion. I think that like when Jordan was made by Nike, I think part of it was like, all right, we have this like young, marketable, fashionable dude who's like good at sports. Now, whether you like liked the way Mike dressed in the '90s or not, he was still arguably like a fashionable guy. I don't think anyone looks at Curry as like a fashionable dude, and these don't look like things you would wear off the court. So I'm a little confused why they're giving him so much. Like they're going to give him his own brand, if that makes sense.
I think it's because like when I think Curry, I think functionality, right? Like
Okay.
say what you want about him, he's just like a he's like the cookout dad. He's just kind of got the sneakers and he's gonna go ball in them. Like he's not looking for style points. He's never been looking for style points. He's only looking for like what can get
3
me from
points.
point A to point B. 3 points exactly. What can get me 3 points?
Yeah.
I like I said, I think obviously the two him and Michael Jordan would be like the only guys with their own brand within the shoe company. Jordan, obviously, when he had Jordan Brand, which was he was probably around 13 years in with Chicago. At that point, he's 13 years in the league. I mean, he was obviously one of arguably the greatest player ever. I think this is a move that a brand has to do. Steph Curry he's looked at as one of the top 15, 20 players of all time. He's done a lot for Under Armour in terms of being recognized on the forefront of, basketball. And, they have their other divisions, they have other athletes, but Steph Curry is the face of it. And I think this is something that you kind of have to do to solidify your brand and keep things locked in. So I understand what you're saying, Chris, where he's like, he's not fashionable. I mean, he definitely he's done collabs, or he's worked with like Express and all these other companies. So I think a guy like Steph Curry, and he has the marketability. He's a family man. He's got multiple kids. He's got kids. He's married. He has a loving household. He comes from a NBA background. His brother plays in the league. So I mean, he's widely popular. He was the anti LeBron James 4
You know what?
years ago.
Now that you frame it like that, L, if you look at like when I think of like family and like just I think of Skechers. When I think of family sneakers, I think of Skechers because I think of moms buying Skechers for the whole family. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's like just me, but the way you're talking about it, like this is like kind of the male version of that,
Yeah.
which
What,
makes
Skechers?
no, just of like what that shoe is. Because you think of all these Skechers, even the ones that we were just talking about, like the Adidas and the other ones, they're more of like a family running around. I got the kids in the van shit.
But remember, I mean, these are a basketball shoe. So it's like, all right, but we don't know, if there's a lifestyle shoe. We don't know what the full plan is. We just see that, hey, he probably will have his own brand under the Under Armour umbrella, but we don't know what else is going with that. So
Yeah.
I think when you start looking at things like that, you're like, wow, this is major, because, once again, we only look at one other guy with his own, individual brand. That was Michael Jordan, who we all know he's the greatest basketball player of all time. But for Curry to get this, I do like it. Obviously we have to see where it goes, but I think it's a good look. I mean, dude, how many players don't get that shit like that? You have LeBron who's under Nike. You have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got
Yeah.
Kobe, KD, Giannis, these guys, all these Harden, all these guys who are amazing talents, but they don't have their own individual brand. So if Curry is able to do that, I'm all for it. I love it.
You brought up just to keep it moving forward, you brought up what did you bring up? I was going to segue into the Drake video.
You were going to segue with just saying, hey, I was going to segue into the Drake video?
Yeah, no, I had.
Everybody appreciate the fact that I was going to segue into it, but instead I'm just going to drive.
No, Luke, go save it. Go save it.
Drive this to a wall.
There's no way to save it. Drake dropped a video on Friday. Was it Laugh Now, Cry Later?
Laugh Now, Cry Later.
Yes.
It is a giant Nike commercial.
Yes. And he threw some shots in at Pusha T and Kanye, which I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit too, because I feel like, Drake is, as great as he is, he can't really take criticism, and every time Pusha T, has something to say about, Drake or Kanye does, he kind of gets defensive and he goes out of his way to have things removed, or have, like with the Pop Smoke album, and then Drake is able to just shoot at Pusha T all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's kind of like, but the video is awesome. Marshawn Lynch, Beast Mode stole the show. Hilarious. And Drake had 2 Maybach concept cars in the video. Fucking amazing.
Flashy.
So, I mean, this is the Nike campus, which, there's KD. And, boy, he gets slapped around by KD, by the way. And he's such a good sport for leaving that shit in. He's trying to make himself the butt of the joke, I guess, which makes him, like, a little more likable. I don't know.
Come on. What's he going to do? If anybody saw him shooting,
look at slapped KD, out. Fuck out of here.
Fucking killing KD, everybody would be like, fuck out of here. There's no way.
Well, also this is kind of revenge. KD, and the Golden State Warriors lost to Drake's Toronto Raptors team in the NBA Finals. So
true.
KD is getting his revenge, man. So I like that,
Well, Odell action.
Yeah, that's that. I don't know how they worked that out to do that at the Nike campus. I also don't know why Drake is so willing just to make one of his videos. I'm sure there's a nice paycheck attached to it, but it's not like he needs it. But like to make the whole thing based around Nike is like kind of insane.
Maybe he asked for a favor for an upcoming shoe to be good.
I like the reference with LeBron with the with the suit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of I think like we get to the point where Drake he knows how to. He's a corporate guy, and I like I said, I thought the video, it was very playful. He played, he was able to make fun of himself, and
Good for Little Dirk, by the way. Good for Little Dirk.
That's also true.
Little Dirk out of Chicago.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It is a Nike ad, but once again we talk about Nike on this podcast all the time. So I mean, what we're doing is also a Nike ad as well.
Yeah.
So
kind of. I don't know. We're like analyzing things that happen in this sphere, though. We don't like. Maybe you could argue like me and A-Life. I'm like, yeah, come on, it's the best. But everything else, we're kind of like picking apart and kind of like looking at.
Bro, it's an advertisement. Let's get fucking paid, dude. Let's get paid.
Yes, everyone pay us. We'll just say your stuff is nice.
What's Li Ning? Hit me up. Look at all this advertisement space in the background. I have a lot of advertisement space. All of these boxes could be Li Ning boxes right over here. Just my phone's ready. That's all I'm saying.
Since we're talking about Nike, we definitely have to talk about a lot of things that's going on within Nike. It's a heavy month, per usual. Seems like every month we say that about Nike. It's a fucking heavy month. We recently on Saturday they released the the green.
Yeah, the Zoom Green ones or whatever.
10 green Zoom 1 race. No, not racers.
And sold out immediately.
Yeah.
Which
And
doesn't make much sense to me, but keep going.
no, it doesn't. And that's what I wanted.
Makes sense.
I want to talk to you guys about that. And what were you gonna say, Luke? Why does it make sense?
I think it makes sense because I've noticed first of all, they're a Jordan 1. Even if they're if they have Zoom technology, they're still a Jordan 1. Like Jordan 1s are always going to sell out when they're highs. Second of all, Zoom technology has been they've had like a couple shoes come out already and they sell out immediately too. And third of all, a lot of stores still aren't open, so people can only get their general releases from the app.
I was interested. Yeah, I thought it was very. Once again, we've said this on this podcast. Every release is a COVID release, and it just seems like everything is just selling out with no regard for human life.
Right.
Look, I mean, I get them selling out, generally speaking, but like how fast they went, I was very surprised at, because these are like, I'm not gonna say they're a nothing shoe, but they're nothing really special about them. You know what I mean? Like, there's no story, there's no like, the Zoom isn't like a coveted one thing,
but it's also like it looks like a Brute, the SB High Brute.
Yeah, Brute SBIs. Yeah.
Sure, even with that attached to it, like, I think people are just desperate to get. I think people just want W's, to be honest, because like these aren't ones that like you need to be a VIP for. You don't need to fucking like know anyone at Nike. Like this should be an easy one, which was maybe why I went so fast. But
I got the Australia Prestos because I wanted to feel alive.
Well, that's what I was going to talk to you guys about as well. I feel like you said, people just want to win. And I think what happens is you have these YouTube blog people, and everyone feels like you can, you see how Jordan 1s are increasing in value. So you buy a pair of Jordan 1s in June, and by October, they've, gone up $100 or $50. And I feel like a pair of Jordan 1s like this, which to me are trash, people are just like, fuck it, I need to invest in Jordan 1s because that's the move. And we see that so often with this shoe.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a big fucking issue. I feel like that we're seeing mid sell out. We're seeing, we just saw the mid bread ones.
I wanted those too.
Did they released already, or?
I saw some places are releasing them already. I think in Europe they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I want them just so
I just don't get how this stuff is moving like that. It really must be like we're getting no W's anywhere else.
Yeah, it's really what it is. There's like there's like a white spot in the back by the sole. I was gonna draw some shit on it.
I think it's very interesting that in a country that is, I think that's the one thing I've learned is sneakers and shit like this is recession proof. It's pandemic proof, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
you look at it, people middle America are like, fucking can't pay their bills, and then every Saturday, sneakers is selling out. Like the sneakers app straight up selling out every Saturday, no matter what the shit is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny you call them pandemic proof. I don't know if I don't know how to go that far, but like,
no, they are. They're fucking pandemic. They are. Sneakers are like, it's showing to me, sneakers are pandemic proof right now. And when I say that, it's like, yes, people are struggling, with everything, but it just seems like every pair of sneakers somehow has been selling out, and reselling prices are going up, and it just shows me that, yeah, this shit is pandemic proof.
For sure, man.
I mean, I guess what? No, go.
I'm sorry. It's going to be very interesting, and this is what I am going to say. It's going to be very interesting as we continue to go on this year, whether with the election and people not being able to get the $600 per week. I want to see if this does sustain itself, because I do feel like there is going to be a point where if money does fall off for a lot of people, then you are going to see people selling shit for pennies on the dollar. And when I say pennies on the dollar, obviously I don't mean you're selling a a shoe that resales for $800 for $200, but I'm saying you could definitely possibly be able to get some deals eventually.
I don't think we've actually talked about it before, on at least on mic, but have you guys also noticed that like bullshit is being overpriced also? Like, I think a lot of people are catching on to like the high resale prices generally speaking. They don't know why or how, but they're like, oh, I have sneakers. Dude, I go on Poshmark sometimes just to see like what's on there and some random shit, but they'll have like beaters and priced at $1,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, all right, I understand like you want, my whole point is like, I think this whole thing is going to end real negatively if like the outside consumers who don't understand like why things are hype, or they don't even understand the concept of what hype is, if they look at shit and they just go, oh, I'll just put up my shit for like $1,000 on Poshmark. Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, to be fair, usually do they have like a negotiation mechanic?
Yeah, I mean, all of them you can DM them and be like, yo.
I think that's the purpose, is just because it's like, hey, I don't know the price on these, so you offer me a price.
There's
And not making it $1. Because
no, I don't know. Some of these guys know what they're doing, and because there's a couple I'm watching, and like one dude had a pair of Reeboks priced like, so it was like $2,000 for some nothing shit, and I'm like, bro. So I keep watching it, and he's going down like 100 every other week, but he's still trying to get that money. I DM'd him, I was like, you gotta knock this shit off. He was like, no, this will sell. I've been seeing sneakers go lately, and I'm like, all right, but have you guys noticed that too?
Not to that degree, no.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like in these couple instances on Poshmark, because I haven't seen too much outside of that. But on Poshmark, I'm like, yo, you guys just looking at crazy prices and shit and trying to.
Well, I think when you look at a place like Poshmark, there's no, when I say there's no regulation on a place like Poshmark. Or like, you could have a pair of beaters and be like, I want $3,000 for these.
Yeah.
No one's really, people aren't going to buy shit like that, because when you have people who are into sneakers and things like that, they're going to either go to like eBay, they're going to go to GOAT, they're going to go to StockX, they're going to find different outlets. So yeah, you can put whatever you want for Poshmark. I would never buy a pair of sneakers off Poshmark, because once again, I mean, who's legit checking it? So you could send me bullshit. We don't know.
Yeah.
So I get what you're
I feel
saying
you.
with a place like Poshmark, but I'm not.
eBay too, though. It's not just the site. I'm interesting with Poshmark, but like eBay does that shit too.
All the time. I still do it.
Just to keep it moving forward here, I don't know if you guys, how deep you want to get into this, but this dude, this Belgian designer, Walter Bender, I don't even know how to pronounce this dude's last name.
Try it.
Baron Dokken. No. Bierendock. He just really went in on Virgil, and I know we're kind of bouncing around, but he really accused him of copying, which I think a lot of designers have sort of been alluding that he doesn't really do his own shit. I said this article to you guys beforehand. I mean, Luke, you kind of agreed that like he's making a strong point.
He's making harsh points. I didn't say he's making strong points. I think like my issue with that is that like his argument is like everything that he does is derivative, but like everything in fashion is fucking derivative, dude. Somebody fucking saw somebody on the street, took that idea, blew it up to fucking to 20, and then they put it on a runway, and then the regular brands were like, all right, let's take this 20 and take it down to a 5 so that everybody can actually buy this shit. And that's fashion. It just goes back and forth in like this weird circle. So of course everybody's taking from everybody else. How many sneakers have you seen that like new companies have come up and they follow?
Oh no, of course, all the time. I mean, the most obvious point in this space is like the Bapesta shit, right? Like that, like all the time. I mean, Lawrence, do you have any thoughts on this shit? Just even generally, if you didn't like go into deep, because I know some of this designer shit you're like not interested in.
No. I mean, I feel like this is an ongoing issue with Virgil, man, where people are continuously, coming at him for, dude, do you have any original ideas?
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point where it's like, Virgil, I'm not going to say he's on thin ice, but I mean, this year hasn't been kind to Virgil in terms of him getting dragged through the mud, whether it's the 50 Cent shit with the cover, with the Pop Smoke cover,
$50,
the $50, the Sean Witherspoon, shit that he was going through, the support black businesses, the $400 sweatshirt. And this is just continuing, like this guy right here saying, hey, Virgil took, what I had, or he copied. And it's just like, dude, like we get to the point where Virgil, like, it's like, do you have anything original? And yeah, I think Virgil gets so much love because he's created, or he has his hand in, Off-White and Nike, which, those sneakers are looked at in the past, 10 years as some of the hottest sneakers, in the past 10 years. But other than that, like a lot of it, like he just, like I saw some of his Louis stuff, and it's just like, it's very pedestrian.
So I just want to quickly read a quote here, a very harsh quote by this guy. He says that it's very clear that Virgil Abloh is not a designer. Jesus Christ, dude. He has no language of his own, no vision. He can't create something of his own season after season, and that is painful. See, part of my problem, all right, this is kind of why I wanted to like bring this up and kind of talk it out with you guys, because so a lot of this you guys can agree is like from skate. Like the language, streetwear is like from skateboarding for the most part. I mean, there's the surf shit, the West Coast, but a lot of this is skate. And skate primarily is based on logo flips. Is that something you guys can make that statement that you guys can agree with or see where I'm coming from?
Are you trying to lead us down the path right now? It feels like you're trying to lead us down.
I'm trying to lead somewhere.
Okay.
So the part I'm struggling with is that like everyone pulls from everybody else and references or whatever, but like a direct flip is kind of where this all started, at least this streetwear shit. And that's what Virgil is in this high-end space. He's like basically representing all the shit that we're into, which derives from skate, right?
Right.
So I think I've made it pretty clear that I'm not like all the way on board with Virgil and his concepts. Like I'll give him where credit is due, but like I'm really having a struggle here because like he's basically doing what skate has always done, just in high-end fashion, and he's getting shit on for it. And I don't know really how to feel about it.
Yeah, man. I don't like that dude. That dude sucks. Not Virgil, the other dude.
The Walter, whatever his fucking name is. Yeah, he does. He doesn't look like the most impressive human.
No, he looks like dude. Give him a rifle and put him in the South, and you'd be like, of course you have those opinions. I'm just saying. Like, look at him. Of course he would have those fucking opinions, dude. I think he's allowed to disagree with some of his execution, but I think that like saying he has no vision whatsoever is just fucking, that's not true.
I don't know. Because Kanye came to his defense and he made a very good point. And I think this is kind of where I turned over on this whole thing, because I was like full in agreement with him until I saw Ye. I think it was like last Tuesday or some shit. He was like defending him, going like, yo, we did a lot to get here. And just because we got here and you're not doesn't mean you could like shit on him. That's basically kind of what he said.
That's something that I definitely agree on too. I feel like Virgil getting there, I think definitely as a black man, I think a lot of people feel like, all right, they want to be hypercritical of Virgil's work. I will say that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is an issue too, where it's like, yo, you regardless of what you could say, how he got there or whatever, he still put out some great things and he still busted his ass to get where he's at. So to kind of discredit, like for that guy to say, Virgil is this and that. Granted, like I said, a lot of things Virgil does, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I still have to, I still give Virgil his props for everything he's done.
I mean, I just want him to dial it back a little. I always just like to be consistent in like my beliefs, or I try to be. I don't know. I always find points where I'm not, but I do think that he's not. I do agree with this guy saying like Virgil's not doing enough of his own shit. And then you see shit like the Pop Smoke thing, and I think that was his attempt at really trying to do something himself with his own mouse, but that didn't work out well. Okay. But then I'm also kind of like, no, he is sort of pioneering this space to open up to like, he's the reason for the most part why the line is so blurred between street and fashion, high fashion right now.
Right.
He's literally taking shoes. I was sending you screenshots over the weekend, guys, like shoes that like look like shoes I skated in,
right,
in high school, and then putting a LV on the shoe.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is sick, but it's also like, no, but that's mine. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's selling the like middle class culture of like the 90s as like a kind of fantasy world for the high end world, right?
Yeah.
That's what I think, at least. Like the stuff that we grew up on, that they kind of just saw looking like outside looking in kind of situation. You know.
Yeah, I don't
Also,
know.
the piece in question, I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, I did. But if you pull it up, this would be a great reference.
The piece in question was this one right here. He in the one in the middle. That's Doofenshmirtz's piece right there. Virgil said in 2005, like this one on the blue one on the right is what Virgil made, which is why he's like, look, like similar material, similar execution. But Virgil says that it was referencing a piece from 2005 where they carried around the bear, and it said in the pamphlet with the thing that was the intention. So he was like, if I copied you, my bad, dog.
So here, I guess basically we got all the way to here for me to ask you guys this, because he does raise a good point. Okay, so we're looking at what, 2005, 2016, and then now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if somebody references something from like 5 years ago, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's okay, because what if that thing from 5 years ago is sold out and I can't get it anymore?
You're right. That's fine.
I get people being mad going like, yo, that's kind of my shit. I did that. But also, like, where can I buy your shit? You got, there's like one dude on StockX that with the obscure pair that he's selling for like 4-digit numbers. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna just get this shit that's new.
Right.
Does that make sense? Are you guys with me on that?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. What's the issue?
No, because I don't know. Because it's also, I guess where I'm fighting is like the designer in me is going like, no, but that's my shit. You just took that. But then also the other side, I'm like, but where can I get it? Because you can't anymore.
Yeah, you would argue that, not that it's a failure, but like its time in the sun is gone. It's done. And this is like a revitalization of that product.
It is so close. I mean, the original reference is not even close to what he did with that blue suit.
No, it's got like a bear thing or like a.
It's like a frog.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Buttersworth's one has like a chainsaw hand. Like, I don't get what that one's with.
But at the end of the day, I've never really heard of Baron Doc before.
Birkenstock?
Walter von Birkenstock.
Walter von Birkenstock.
Walter von Birkenstock over here. Oh, I put the chainsaw on the suit, and now the man, he made a frog on his suit. It's obviously similar.
Virgil just took my thing and made it red. This is bullshit.
He made it blue, is what he did.
I'm so confused. This is my own designs. I don't know.
I don't know. See, it's two alike.
Okay, Lawrence, it's your turn now.
So, guys, let's talk about. No. I understand what you're saying. Fashion to me is so interesting because you have one designer that makes something, and then maybe like you said, a designer years down the line makes something similar. It's like I don't know.
Is it too much to care? Is it like, dude, this is enough already? I gotta manage release dates. Never mind this dude's life.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, and I think also the fact that this isn't the first time that someone's come at Virgil for something that he's done. They're like, hey, like even when you look at the Nike shit, like some people were like, they were designers who were like, these were my type of ideas. So, I mean, after a while, you just like, listen, I like Virgil, but I'm not going to.
The way I look at it, and it's also the same way I look at jokes, and it hasn't happened to me so tightly when it comes to comedy, especially because a lot of my jokes, and no one's like, they don't even make sense.
Nobody wants to copy your joke.
How the fuck do you even think? Well, what the fuck is that? But I look at designs and jokes in the same way, where I'm like, all right, if I'm ill enough to do this, then if you take my shit, then you can have it. Like, I've had so many art things stolen from me, like complete rip. Did I tell you guys that one time I helped Claire Parker with her fucking app logo, and some dude in Australia literally copy pasted it and then trademarked it.
Oh shit.
So then she had to get another one done. and was trying to sue the guy, but there's so much shit going on internationally. But this was like maybe a year and a half ago, whenever it was. But like, it just happens so often. At some point, you have to go like, all right, I mean, like, if you need it, I don't like, you can have this, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like I said, I don't know. I just
Yeah, I feel you.
I mean, it's high fashion. They're hand jobs. They're hand jobs of people.
I feel like we spend a lot of time on this, and we should move on.
Okay. I mean, I think we're about to kind of wrap up here. So why don't you dismount this, Ali? What do you want to leave off on?
Well, we really didn't get to talk about, and we didn't really get to talk about the dunks, the Sambas that are coming out on Friday. We didn't get to talk about the Civilists, the Weatherman SBs that are just more hype on type of hype.
Yeah.
They changed colors.
Oh, they changed colors in the heat.
Yeah, so
It seems like something to do with temperature. I'm not going to say heat or not because that
Like
might be
hot
cold water.
Oh yeah, maybe cold water.
I'm gonna go on record as saying I think they're okay, but I don't think they're like. I mean, come following like the Grateful Dead's, the Travis, the Strange Loves, the Ben Jerry's. I think these are okay. I just think they're just riding the wave.
Yeah.
Of SBs, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more excited about the Bear Brick Metacom joints that are coming out. Those are they're basic, but they're pony hair.
This is reminiscent to me of like back when SBs were just like $100 sneakers that no one cared about.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They were just efficient skateboarding sneakers.
Yeah, like it's more about like weird material choice and just putting the logo on the back heel.
Right. They are in reference to a pair of Air Force Ones that came out years ago. But yeah, I think I'm more excited about those than the fucking Weatherman SBs. So
it's all I mean, going back to kind of what you were saying earlier, it's nice that this is just clean.
I think that's what it is. I think it's just a clean sneaker. That's supposed to be that's supposed to come out August 22nd, I believe. So I'm excited for those. I mean, I'm probably gonna. Hopefully, I don't take the L there, but I definitely will see some way to get those sneakers because I think they're very nice.
For sure. I mean, even those Civilist ones or Civilist, however you say that, that's cool. I mean, like that's a material that I don't think gets a lot of play. I mean, I think when we were kids, we all had like that shirt that would change color when you walk outside, but like having that on something like kind of adult is pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. I think they're pretty nice, but yeah, they're I think a little too much hype is going to be on those, and I'm a big fan of SBs over for the last 15, 16, 17 years, but I think they're just cashing on the hype on these. They're solid though. But normally when you hear me talk about an SB and I'm like, oh, these shits are fucking insane. I feel like those like a little too gimmicky. Weatherman foam posits, that's what they feel like. So.
Yeah. I just want I want to own a pair of those and be that guy who just stands out in the rain and goes like, huh? Check out these guys. Look at this. Look at this. They were black before, now they're all.
It's like your Birds of Paradise dance trying to get a mate.
Huh?
Hilarious.
Huh? Which ABG wants to go home with me?
All right, I guess we can go. Was there anything else that we wanted to cover before we go to Hypless Heat?
Yeah, is there anything else?
I'm good. We can go to Hypless Heat.
Okay, I mean, next week I do want to talk about these follow-up Prada and Adidas ones, but we don't need to cover that now.
And then Yeezy put out a bunch of stuff too on his Twitter, but we can talk about that next week.
Yeah, I mean, like that. He's gonna say more.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll we can get to it,
and then it'll be like Yeezy week, everyone.
So Luke, you picked over here these. I
picked the CL Legacies.
The new sort of revamped classic leather.
Yes.
Aztrek sort of fusion thing here.
Yeah, I like them mostly because I've been looking for like a pretty decent waffle sole, just for running and whatnot. And a bolt, by the way, I'm gonna just look like I'm running, but not actually run ever. That was the whole idea of getting waffle soles. I want to look like an athletic guy, but do none of the work. And I think these shoes do the job pretty well. honestly. They give me like, I don't know, like the blue and yellow colorway. There's like another like colorway that's like blue and yellow, and I wanted to steer clear of that one just because that one kind of gives off like, kind of reminds me of like Sakai vibes a little bit too much, and makes me a little sad that I don't have them.
Right.
These are just like a clean colorway, so I just went with these. They're pretty. They're nice shoes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely like, I don't know, the marketing is a little weird on it, but it's definitely the fusion of two different shoes, the Aztrek and the classic leather. No, which is cool. Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
My pick was these Karhu Fusion 2.0s.
This is interesting. I like these.
Yeah, I think these, like in Mizuna's, some of their like more walk shoes, I guess. I don't know. I think some of these just don't get enough hype, and like these are just a solid shoe that have, it's just a different label. That's the other thing too. Is like everyone's like, it has to be Nike, it has to be Yeezy or whatever. It's like these are a solid sneaker that have a different upper treatment than most, and it's a different label, and they're solid.
And they have like a lot of interesting things going on with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely a lot to look at.
No, it's just so funny because like if this had a swoosh on it, people would be freaking out probably. You know what I mean? It'd be like a legacy sneak. Like people would be like, "Oh, this is a shit." But it's like, yo, you want to talk about individuality and like everyone trying to get the hype shit? Like if you just buy some of this shit, people are gonna go like, "Oh, wow." Like they'll respect you a little bit for going outside the box and finding a nice sneaker that's not like the label that they're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
If I do one, I'll do Margiela, Mason Margiela, German Army trainers.
German Army
The
trainers.
The Gats.
Get the Gets.
The Gets?
The Gats.
No, that's good.
Yes, that's it right there. The Gats. They're a staple in shoes. I have a pair I bought 10 years ago that I still have. They're paint splattered. I like them.
Oh yeah, that paint splatter one is cool.
Yeah, I have paint splattered Gats.
These ones, right? These are good. Yeah.
Those are fine. Yeah, those. I mean, they're classic. They're classic sneakers. And yeah, you can always get a pair of German Army trainers.
Yeah, these are. It's interesting to think about like staple silhouettes that we all know that aren't, like I said, like one of the main labels, and these are definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are Margiela Force Ones for them, pretty much.
Oh, for sure. Very versatile shoe.
Yeah,
Go
clean.
They go well with like what do you call it? Like slacks. They'll go well with.
They go well with pretty much anything.
Yep.
Yeah, this also kind of has that same shit I mentioned before, where it has like a lot of sport vibe, but also a lot of dress vibe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could wear these to an interview and no one's gonna get mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at these. Even at that price point, I'm still not mad at these.
No, yeah, and then it's quality if it's that much, especially coming from Margiela.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go. That's the Hypeless Heat for this week. I think that should do it for everything else. Does anyone have any final thoughts or anything? Or
Wrap it up. We're gonna wrap that shit up. Wrap it up. Wrap that shit up. Wrap that gavel up. Wrap this podcast up. Wrap it up.
Well, so you can follow me at Not That Cheney, Lawrence at LZD325, at Trevises for Luke. Sub Podcast NYC is our Instagram. We have a phone number. It's 1-908-299-6910. You can text us or leave us a voicemail, and if it's not gibberish like you guys have left before, then we'll play it and we'll discuss it. But yeah, follow us, join the Discord, guys. You already fucking know the vibes.
Yes. Yeah. What he said. What Chris said.
Oh boy, that was bad. Yes.
Ad space.
Yeah, Lean Ning, pay us.
Anybody,
Anybody, really. But all right, guys, that's it. We'll talk to you next week.
Peace.